everybody to the Just Call Podcast. Just Call Podcast. Just Call Podcast. Yeah. Just Call Podcast. Just Call Podcast. Everybody welcome to Just Call Podcast here at nighttime. About 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. November 8th, 2022. Elections coming. I live in the great state of California. Gavin Newsom has won. Now, I don't want to get all political because that's typically not my forte. But Gavin Newsom won, man. A lot of people hate that guy, and a lot of people love him. What is it to be loved and hated at the same time? Let's think about this. Let's ponder on this a little bit. I think about this a lot. Kind of a hard thing to do, to live that type of life, to be, loved and hated. But if we think about our little world, or your wife telling you gotta stop doing this, or your husband telling you what's wrong with you, your child giving you a hard time, whatever it is, those things truly do affect you. They come to find out that sometimes, a person like Gavin Newsom would probably get so much hatred and death threats and, shit like that. That's just so intense. Like, how does one move forward, right? I wish they taught this type of stuff in school, like emotional resilience, right? Like intelligence, the ability to muster courage, right? How does one deal with that? How does one dealing with the hatred? And then some people would, instead of thinking of it externally, like how do you handle that problem? How do you make sure that you are loved, or you're not the enemy, or some shit like that? You really got to think about it internally. What can you do within yourself to kind of shield you from all this bullshit, which is, always tends to drive our lives, compass and shit. You're not trying to be a chauvinistic asshole, who's just doing whatever is on your mind. You're trying to make sense of the world, and it's not easy. How do you deal with hatred, negativity, and then also receive positivity at the same time? See, it's hard to accept positivity when there's a lot of shit going on around you, right? You're just super stressed. Someone pats you on the back, like, hey man, good job. You just don't even believe it. Just like blasphemy. How dare you say something positive about me? And, I think ultimately you need to build a structure within yourself, some type of fortress of fortitude, sanctuary, some type of temple within yourself that you need to rely on, something that you can always fall back on yourself, and you can rely on yourself, depend on yourself in certain situations. So how do you deal with hatred? Well, you have to learn how to deal with the hatred in yourself and learn, hey, I'm a good dude. Why do these people hate me? Right? And sometimes you also have to understand people hate you because of just stuff that's on social media, right? For no reason. I guess, a lot of people would hate Gavin Newsom, but it's mainly on social media, news, his politics that he's involved in. enemies he makes. Right? So that's my little word of advice to you. You know, whenever you feel down and you're like, man, why do people hate me? Think about Jesus Christ. Like, man, that dude went through a lot of shit. Sorry guys, fighting a cold, you know, this cold over here in the bear is horrible. But back to Jesus Christ. I mean, that guy, you know, was punished before he died. And you watch Passion of the Christ, it's a horrible movie. This guy just gets mutilated. He's beat up by a bunch of Jews. And then the Romans don't even know what to do with him. They just put him on a freaking stake. Lowercase t and shit. I mean, I'm Catholic. I respect my God, but god dang, man, they messed him up. And they messed him up pretty bad. But it's just like that. How man so can die on the cross and take so much punishment and hatred from people, but yet just flick it off their shoulder like it was nothing and still die in peace. I think you have to think about that. You know, I heard a good quote and it's pretty good. You know? Forgot how the quote goes, but it's a little something like this. You wouldn't let somebody take 10 minutes of your time just, you know, giving you bullshit, giving you a horrible conversation. Like, why would you spend 10 minutes of your day doing that, right? So why spend 10 minutes of your day giving yourself bullshit and making yourself feel bullshit? So think about that. So, you know, someone else is going to give you that shit, but why give yourself your own problems, you know? Be your own ally, man. Imagine yourself in a prison and you're by yourself, man. You got no friends. You gotta somehow man up, you know, or woman up, or they up, or them up. You gotta up it. You gotta up. You gotta figure out some way, somehow, man. People out here are scammers, messing up everything for us. Oh, you gotta defend yourself with what you got. You can't really just let someone take it from you. You gotta fight for something for what you have. So, fight for your daily, you know, fight for your things that you believe in, and just be you. You know, sometimes I like to think, and I know this, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, but, you know, sometimes I like to just think that at my job that, you know, as long as you're trying, these two things, and they're total polar opposites of the thought process, but these are my philosophies. Number one is you work really, really hard, and you be an honest dude. Just be yourself, you know. Some people are really good workers, some people are not, some people are loyal, some people are punctual, some people are consistent, some people have a major skill. Whatever it is that you do it is that you're good at, that what they hired you to do, and do the best job that you could do. You know, come in early, leave late, all that stuff. But also there's this. Don't be a kiss ass. And work as if you're not prepared to being fired. The reason why I say that is, if you're always worried about being fired, you're going to do the things that just please people. And you sometimes need to do the things that are the most toughest things for people to do. That's why if you're a manager or some type of thing, you kind of have to tell people this is the way things are. So sometimes you got to do things that people don't like. And those are the things that I mean is that you got to work as if you don't care if you get fired, basically. Because sometimes you got to do things around the system, or, you know, you just got to get the job done. And sometimes you got to step on some people's toes and do what you got to do. some people are not okay with that. And I also feel that if you have no fear in getting fired, that basically you're going to do whatever you need to do for your job to be the best. You know, sometimes we are hesitant to do things on our own because we fear of judgment. And really, sometimes our first initiation on that, what I mean is, if you're working honestly, you're always going to do something good. But if you have no fear of being fired, that means you're just always doing everything good no matter what. So no matter what happens, how can you get fired? So that's why if there's no reason to have any hesitancy or any issues with yourself or your performance, because you always know and you're confident that you're doing the best thing you can possibly do for that job. So just rely on that, because if you're always just kissing ass and trying to do the best thing, you're always going to remain where you're at. Sometimes you need to surpass people. So it isn't always about pleasing your peers. You need to move forward. You got to keep going and keep pushing the envelope. Because at the end of the day, you know, people come and go. And, you know, your coworkers don't always remain your lifelong coworkers. And sometimes, you know, we try to do things to not get our coworkers in trouble, or try not to get ourselves in trouble, or trying to find the easy way out because somebody doesn't want to do a job a certain way, or they have a different work attitude towards things than you. And sometimes maybe you're more of a hard worker and you want to get the things done, and that's it, you know? And sometimes that's the toughest thing to do, is to have no fear and just do your job with no fear, basically. And that's hard to do because we stress wherever we go, where we work. And, you know, you need to strive for the best thing you can possibly do for yourself. Wow, that was boring. All sad and shit. It's almost Thanksgiving, guys. It's time to kill that turkey. You know, pull out the gravy, pull out those ugly sweaters, break out the alcoholic eggnog,